Hey guys, today I wanted to talk a little bit about suffering. Now, I'm going to give my own experiences with my own mental illnesses. Don't compare them to your own, or, just don't ever really compare mental illnesses to somebody else's. So, what I'm saying applies for me, and it might not apply for everybody. There's a lot of genetic and environmental components in mental illnesses. So for us to compare one person to another person, you're not going to get the right answers. So if we can try to put purpose to our suffering and find out why we perhaps suffered, we can learn to forgive ourselves for any judgments we might have made. We can open up ourselves more, and it gives us fulfillment and makes us feel happier, realizing that our suffering wasn't just needless, which I don't believe that needless suffering exists. It's all for growing. But my insight into my mental illnesses gave me realizations of, why I had them and where I was with them. So I've had severe and debilitating OCD for about 20 years. I've had pretty severe ADHD my entire life. And for the past 10 years, I've suffered from bipolar disorder with depression and mania and even psychosis. So to me, that just sounded like an inordinate amount of suffering that I was going through. And I really couldn't find a way to give it meaning. But I've done lots of meditation on it. And fairly recently, I've actually come to some conclusions about why I have my mental illnesses and how I can use them to improve and better my life. Okay, so my OCD was to learn how to lose doubt. My ADHD was to learn how to find focus. And my bipolar disorder was to learn the importance of balance. Balance in terms of mental and physical health, and balance in terms of our life every day and our schedules and just how we live day to day. Balance is a very important thing, but these are the three illnesses that, at this point, I would say I've recovered from, which is really, really unique, and it's taken a lot of work, and I've been very fortunate and had a lot of help. But I'm at the point where, I'm happy with where my mental health is, and of course, it could always improve, and we could always get stronger with our minds. But it's just kind of nice to put definitions to things, or rather than that, to see why things exist and put purpose to things that we think are meaningless. So if you suffer anything, whether it's a mental illness or condition, or even if it's just anxiety and depression, from work or stress, or maybe things just aren't quite going right for you, you're experiencing suffering. And suffering isn't necessarily a bad thing. It does have pain. Suffering teaches us life lessons, and it teaches us how to mentally and emotionally grow. So it is a tool, but usually when something's going wrong and things just aren't working out right, we're kind of just suffering until we figure out the solution or how to get through it. And that suffering teaches us how the next time something occurs, how to be able to get through that because we have the tools. So while we might suffer again, it'll be less suffering, or it'll be less painful suffering. Now, not everybody is going to be able to find purpose to their suffering, and that really not everyone should be able to or needs to, but what they should realize is that our suffering is a mechanism to grow rather than something to just, always stub our toe. And if we start looking at our pain and our suffering in a different way, and if we start looking at it as something that grows us rather than something that just makes us feel shitty or bad, then we will benefit from the suffering and we will grow as individuals. And for me, that has moved me past my own suffering and mental illnesses. And I really feel like I do believe that I've gotten past the worst suffering in my life, which is very reassuring because it makes me think that no matter what happens in the future, no matter how difficult it might be, I've developed the emotional strength to deal with it. Anyway, guys, I will catch you next time.